Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I know that in my previous videos I said I was going to be uploading on Mondays and Fridays, and I did that for like a week and then I just stopped uploading. With like Christmas and the holidays and all of that stuff, it kind of like got pushed on the back burner, I guess. And then now that I'm like getting to the end of my first trimester, I've had really bad morning sickness. So with that, and then like the holidays and like rushing around, like being with family and stuff, I just didn't focus on like making videos to put out for you guys. So now I'm going to fix that and actually stick to the schedule that I said I would be posting on, and hopefully I can stick to that. And now that my first trimester is basically over, hopefully my morning sickness is not as bad as it has been. But I'm sure you can tell by the title of this video that today is going to be about a first trimester tips video, and to kind of give you guys like help from what I've learned throughout the first trimester, things to do to help me throughout the day and just kind of make it a little bit easier on myself. So I have here a list of things. This is multiple videos, but up here is the list for this video. So I'm just going to kind of like touch on each of the things that I have. I have 7 things written down here. So I'm going to quickly touch on all of those so this video is not an hour long. But these are just things that I've personally learned that help me. So I'm not saying they're going to help you or that they won't help you, but I know that these have helped me get through the day on days that I just feel like I want to lay in bed all day because I'm so tired. So if you want to try to go by the things that I have here to maybe help you, then go for it. But if it doesn't work, I'm not a doctor. These are just the things that I personally have found that work for me. So number 1 would be to always keep some kind of food in your stomach. Now, in my next video, it's going to be all about morning sickness, so I'm not going to go into too much detail as far as like morning sickness goes, but I will say that for me, not just morning sickness, but feeling tired and like low energy seemed to always come around when I like was on an empty stomach. Whether it be I'm getting up and running late for work, so I just run out the door and I don't grab like a quick breakfast, or I don't eat like a quick breakfast before I leave, and then I get to work and I'm on an empty stomach. I just think that even something as quick and easy as a piece of toast or some crackers or something like that to have in your stomach is better than not having anything in your stomach, because not only will it help you feel better as far as energy levels go, but it'll also help you feel better as far as like the nausea and the like queasiness. So that is the number 1 thing that I have that helped me throughout the first trimester when it came to like I said, the feeling tired and drowsy and things of that nature. Thing number 2, this is really important, is that you should make sure you take a prenatal vitamin. It doesn't matter what kind of brand it is. I have a like pregnancy app on my phone, and plenty of the people on there say that they've taken like the CVS and Walgreens brand prenatal vitamins, and they work just as well as vitamins that are name brand from Walmart or the drugstore. As long as you're taking one that has folic acid in it, that's really all that matters. That's what you want to make sure you're getting every day. It's good for the baby, it's good for the growth of the baby, and it's also good for you. So that is one of the major things I would say during not just your first trimester, your whole pregnancy, you should take them. But as like a first time mom, this being my first pregnancy, I didn't really know much about pregnancy until I did research. And that was one of the biggest things that you like need to have is a prenatal vitamin. So that's thing number 2 that I would say is a big tip to make sure you're taking every day. Thing number 3 is that you should never be scared to ask like your OBGYN a lot of questions, because they're the ones who know best. So if you have any type of question, you think of any kind of question, ask, because no question is a dumb question in my opinion, especially if it's your first pregnancy. if it's your first pregnancy, you have no idea what to expect. You have no idea what's in store. So I think asking a lot of questions and getting a good background knowledge about things is really good. And it can not only help you, but it could possibly help others if you have friends or family members that are also pregnant and, you know, they have a question that they might not be able to answer, but you could answer it because you spoke with your OBG or someone else that has background knowledge with pregnancies and they answered the question for you. And so then you can go and share that knowledge with someone else who might need it as well. So definitely ask a lot of questions. Don't feel bad if you ask too many because there aren't too many. And once again, there are no dumb questions. Thing number 4 would be to take things slow and not push yourself. So, fatigue is one of the biggest symptoms that you have during your first trimester. And if you're trying to constantly like be on the go and constantly get things done, it's going to catch up with you. You're going to hit a brick wall in the middle of the day and just want to take a nap on your couch. And honestly, I can say that I've done that more than once. So honestly, whether you're at work or going grocery shopping or running errands or walking the dog or doing whatever you're doing, take it slow. Take your time. It's not a marathon. You're not in a race. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to do something as long as you get it done. And you don't want to push yourself too hard because it could be bad for you in the long run. So I think one of the biggest things you should do is make sure you take your time and just take it slow because, like I said, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get something done. As long as you get it done, that's all that matters. And from my experience, when I try to like push myself to clean the house and I try to get it all done within like an hour or an hour and a half, I feel worse than if I just slowly do things throughout the day to get it accomplished by the end of the day. I feel way more tired. Sometimes it makes my morning sickness even worse than it was to begin with because I'm trying to constantly be go, 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 and I'm not giving myself a break. So definitely take your time and take it slow because it will definitely pay off. Number 5 is another thing that I found out by doing research. So you want to cut back on your caffeine intake while you're pregnant, whether that be sodas or coffee. You are supposed to drink, I think it's less than 200 milligrams a day of caffeine for like a healthy pregnancy, a healthy baby. I used to be a really, really, really big soda drinker before I got pregnant. And then eventually when I read like the caffeine intake needed to be limited, I started to veer away from that and I would only drink water. And now that's really all I ever like go to grab for is water. I have a like water bottle that I take everywhere with me, so I always have something to drink. I think that helps as well. Also, I love having water that's ice cold. So if it's ice cold, I would prefer to drink that over like a lot of other things. So I constantly always make sure we have ice in the house or I have ice wherever I'm going to be going. So that way I can have ice cold water. So I tend to grab for that instead of like soda. I guess you could say soda is kind of, it hasn't been like an aversion for me because it doesn't make me sick, but like before I got pregnant, it was like I could think of it and be like, oh, that sounds good. Like I want a glass of like Dr. Pepper or something like that. But now like it doesn't ever pop into my head that a glass of Dr. Pepper sounds good. Like all I really ever think about drinking is water. So I guess it's kind of also a mindset thing and it's also a habit thing. Once you start drinking water or even like Sprite, it doesn't have caffeine in it. It tends to become a habit. So I think that's more of what it is for me than just it's an aversion. I think it's more of I'm used to drinking water now, so it's become a habit of mine. But that would definitely be another big thing that I think you should definitely keep track of during your pregnancy, because it was like one of the top things that I read when I was doing research about first time pregnancies. So thing number 7 is also another morning sickness sort of detail. It would be learn what to eat and what not to eat. Your body will tell you what's good for you and what's not good for you, so you should listen to it. So, you know, if you eat, I don't know, a bag of chips and you feel sick, then maybe that's something that you should avoid eating. Whereas if you eat like fruits and it makes you feel good and energized, then maybe that's something you should go for to have in your diet more often because it makes you feel good and energized. There's a lot of like junk food that can make you feel fatigued more than you're already gonna feel. And you don't want that because in the first trimester, you already feel like you get out of bed and an hour later you want to take a nap. So you definitely want to eat foods that are good for you, and your body will absolutely 100% tell you what those are and what they're not. So you should listen to it instead of like, sometimes you have cravings. Everyone has cravings, but sometimes it's best to kind of avoid those cravings or find a better route to go if the craving is something that you know you shouldn't be having. So definitely listen to your body and manage what to eat and what not to eat. And the seventh thing that I have as a tip for you guys would be to get as much rest as possible. I know that's very hard to say when there are moms out there that work, and there's moms out there that already have kids who are toddlers and they run around, and you can't just take a nap whenever you feel tired because you're, I don't know, 10 weeks pregnant or 12 weeks pregnant and you feel like you've hit a brick wall at noon. So you can't just lay on your couch and take a nap because you have other priorities in your life. But when I say get as much rest, I don't mean you have to take a nap every 2 hours. I mean, like I said before, to take your time and to make sure you're eating foods that keep you energized, because if you feel more energized, you won't need as much rest. And just things as little as if you're walking around the grocery store, just take your time. And if you feel like you need to sit down, then take a seat. I know there's benches in Walmart that you can sit on up at the front and stuff like that. So just don't feel like you have to push yourself. When your body needs rest, it'll tell you that it needs to rest. So you should definitely listen to that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their points of the day where they feel like they could just lay on the ground and pass out wherever they are because they're so tired. So definitely listen to that. And make sure, if your body tells you it's tired and it's 7:30 at night, it's fine to lay on the couch and fall asleep if you can. I've done it before because, like I said, this is my first pregnancy and I don't have any other like children running around. And normally me and my boyfriend eat dinner before that time anyway. So as long as we're fed and I feel like my duties for the day are done, laying on the couch and falling asleep at 7:30 or 8 o'clock really doesn't bother me, because if I feel like my body needs it, then that's what I'm going to do. But that's another big tip, is just to make sure you have as much rest as possible, because it will make you feel better in the end. So those were my 7 tips for you guys during your first trimester. You can either take them and use them or not listen to them. That's up to you. But yeah, so hopefully I'm going to be back on my Monday, Friday posting schedule. That's kind of the plan. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching this video, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna stick to that posting schedule that I promised, Monday and Friday. And my next video is gonna be about morning sickness tips. So hopefully that could be helpful to a lot of you. I know that morning sickness is a big thing during the first trimester. So if you're interested in that, then definitely come back in a couple of days to see that video. But that's going to be it for me today. So I'll catch you in my next one.